Welcome back, Soapy family. Get really ready and settle in, because Buscruin is serving drama deeper than the Diepe waters themselves. From tense relationships to explosive confrontations and campaigns that could make or break fortunes, this month is packed with moments that will have you on the edge of your seat. Let's dive right into the chaos. And remember, if you're loving these recaps, show some love back. Hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and if you really want to help keep these stories coming, consider joining our channel membership or sending a super thanks donation. Every bit helps us bring you the juiciest details. Things were seriously chilly between Hanneli and Sam on Monday the 2nd of February, and it wasn't just the pool water. After their perfect day was shattered by Skulk's interference and Marco's threats, the silence between them was louder than any argument. Meanwhile, Guy's, feeling a bit more himself after his ordeal, cracked a joke or a suggestion that actually got a real laugh out of Zelda, a sound that's been rare lately. In a sweeter moment, Rousseau arrived at Arno and Carla's with some potentially good news, maybe about the housing project, or held a hoop, hoping to bring a smile to the couple who've had nothing but romantic interruptions. Pam was buzzing with excitement on Tuesday the 3rd, completely taken with Zelda's clever ideas for their big skincare campaign. That mother-daughter brainstorming session was a rare moment of synergy. Over at the Swartmarleen, the Cold War between Marco and Sam finally erupted into a boiling public vendetta right there on the pool deck, with other swimmers looking on nervously. And in a touching scene, Carla's gentle, caring nature as she fussed over Guy's recovery truly touched the old man's heart, reminding him of the family bonds he sometimes takes for granted. Jacques and Rousseau were left speculating on Wednesday the 4th, wondering just what their father Guys would decide to do about the volatile Marco situation. Could he really kick a Viljoen out? Thandi, ever the wise one, took Sam aside and offered him some heartfelt advice about navigating the tricky waters with Hanneli and her complicated family. And yes, once again, Arno and Carla's attempt at a quiet, romantic evening was shattered. This time likely by another unexpected visit from Felicity, pushing Arno's patience to its absolute limit. Guys made his decision known on Thursday the 5th, calling Marco in and laying down the law about his future at the Swartmarleen after that public fight. That evening, Guys was in his element, thoroughly enjoying himself at the event Pam and Zelda put together for their campaign. Franz, however, was visibly less amused, especially with Guys' poster campaign stealing some thunder. In a quieter moment, Leandri approached Marco with an important, heartfelt request, likely concerning the family's unity and his father's potential return. Teresa was in a flat spin on Monday the 9th, facing a last-minute emergency with the Tous en Cos en Ciel podcast that threatened the whole recording. Never one to miss an opportunity, Pam and Zelda cooked up a brilliant, synergistic idea to boost their skincare campaign, probably involving the podcast itself. Guys, meanwhile, was busy trying to do some damage control, likely smoothing things over with Franz after stepping on his toes at the event. Pam's excitement about the podcast collaboration was through the roof on Tuesday the 10th. Sissoko, however, was not sharing her enthusiasm, his concerns about Vujelwa and Pam's business dealings clearly putting a strain on things at home. Jacques found himself in a quiet struggle, wanting to make peace with Guys after the whole Swartz and Swartz fallout, but his pride making it difficult. And in a huge moment for the Viljoens, Leandri made a big announcement, perhaps about the future of Heel Athlete, or a final decision regarding Skalk. Sissoko received shocking news on Wednesday the 11th, possibly connected to Vujelwa's plans or a sudden business setback. Guys, with his typical lack of subtlety, managed to step on Franz's toes yet again, inflaming their rivalry. The Viljoen VF made their own big announcement, maybe launching their official brand or a new venture, declaring their independence loud and proud for all of Boscawen to hear. Skalk's reaction to Viljoen 5's video announcement on Thursday the 12th took Leandri completely by surprise. Was it anger or something resembling pride? Pam dug a little deeper and found out that V was far more important to the Malaba project than she'd originally realized, adding more pressure. And Guys, ever the competitor, stood back looking very self-satisfied with his campaign poster, convinced he was winning the visibility war against Franz. The Viljoen children were filled with skepticism on Monday the 16th, all wondering if their father Skalk's recent behavior and promises were actually sincere or just another manipulation. At the Swartz home, Guys and Pam got into a heated argument, likely over his methods or his dealings with Joanna, and poor Franz, he was on his very last nerve with Guys' antics, the man's smugness becoming too much to bear. Guys found it incredibly difficult to accept on Tuesday the 17th that Franz's clever video content was capturing more public attention than his own flashy posters. In a sudden move, Franz just disappeared from Boscawen, leaving everyone speculating. Sissoko returned home to an extremely unpleasant surprise, probably finding Vujelwa there or discovering a new complication in their business arrangement. Haneli struggled deeply on Wednesday the 18th to believe that her father Skalk genuinely wanted to change. The years of hurt making trust impossible. The winner of Zelda and Pam's big skincare campaign was finally announced, creating celebrations and maybe some jealousy. Sissoko finally confronted Vujelwa directly about whatever plan she and Pam were concocting, demanding the truth. Pam and Sissoko reached a total boiling point on Thursday the 19th over Vujelwa's situation, their disagreement threatening to spill over into a major marital crisis. The shadow of Skalk still hung like a dark cloud over all of Boscawen, affecting every Viljoen. And a new athlete, Liam, joined the Swartmaline, bringing fresh talent and unknown drama to the pool. Renee, always scouting for talent, made a tempting offer to the new swimmer Liam on Monday the 23rd, seeing his potential. Vuelwa, in a tactical move, asked Pam pointed questions about Sisseko, probing for weaknesses, and Skalk's anger reached terrifying new heights, perhaps after seeing Leandri's success or the kid's independence, making everyone fear what he might do next. Leandri stood before an agonizing decision regarding Skalk on Tuesday the 24th, to let him back in or to finally close the door for good. Renee learned more about Liam's troubled history, which could be a risk for the club's reputation. Pam delivered her crucial presentation to Vuelwa for the Mhlaba launch, her future ambitions resting on that moment. For the first time in ages, the Viljoen kids started to believe on Wednesday the 25th that the bad times were finally over, that they could build something without their father's poison. Vuelwa, however, was left with serious doubts about her plan with Pam, wondering if the partnership was truly worth the cost. Pam made great progress with the Mhlaba launch preparations on Thursday the 26th, her vision starting to come together. Liam was completely thrown when the media suddenly crowded around him, his past possibly catching up in a very public way, and Leandri's hopeful community event in the park took a shocking, unexpected turn, likely with the sudden, unwelcome arrival of Skalk, ready to shatter the peace. And there you have it. A month where campaigns collided, families fractured, and new players dove into the deep end. Who will sink and who will swim? Make sure you're here next time to find out. Don't forget to comment below with your theories, share this video with a fellow Soapy fan, and smash that like button. Thanks for watching, and remember, in Boscawen, the waters are always deeper than they seem.